Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to do a news video. We're talking about NFL, NBA, wrestling, and NASCAR in this one, so we're just going to get right into it. So first thing I'm going to start with is the Ravens. They've requested to interview Broncos defensive assistant. Defensive passing game coordinator and assistant head coach Jim Leonard for the defensive coordinator job. He played in Baltimore in 2008. Already has interviewed for the Chargers defensive coordinator. He's expected to interview for Buffalo's as well. So he's going to interview then now with Baltimore. Scrolling here. So Patrick Graham is flying to Pittsburgh today to interview for the Steelers defensive coordinator job, and he is considered the front runner per sources. While he still has to interview, the expectation is in some league circles as that he will be the defensive coordinator if all goes well. I mean, they got Mike McCarthy, Patrick Graham on that coaching staff. I mean, meh. Bills quarterback Josh Allen, he said that he broke a bone in his foot, fifth tartar saw, and that is what he had cleaned up on Monday morning in Birmingham. He said it was an older injury that he re-aggravated versus the Browns. So with the Las Vegas update, the Raiders, they plan to interview Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak over the weekend and then make a decision on their head coach per sources. As one candidate predicted, it's probably Kubiak's job to lose. The Giants are going to meet with Jim Bob Cooter to discuss their vacant offensive coordinator job. He is the current Colts OC, and he interviewed for the Eagles for their offensive coordinator job as well. What a name. Mike Vrabel says defensive coordinator Taylor Williams, who has been focusing on his recovery from a prostate cancer diagnosis, will travel with the team to the Super Bowl. The Falcons completed a second interview with Ian Cunningham for their general manager opening. The Giants have requested to interview Colts passing game coordinator Alex Tanney for their offensive coordinator position. He's a former Giants quarterback who played from 2018 to 2020. The Chiefs requested to interview Raiders running back coach Deland McCullough for their running back position. He was with the Chiefs from 2018 to 2020. The Steelers, they've hired longtime offensive line coach James Campen, who is reunited with Mike McCarthy after the two worked together in Green Bay. The NFL officially appointed an influential storyteller, Darman, as its first ever Chief Kindness Officer and Creator of the Week for Super Bowl. Oh my lord. Shit says Darman. Not even one of the parody accounts could come up with this bullshit. Oh my lord. The Eagles, they are hiring Packers quarterbacks coach Sean Mannion as their offensive coordinator. He interviewed twice for their job, and he will now be moving on from Green Bay. We'll see how it pays off, man. I don't know about this. Really don't. Because he's only 33 years old. He was active players recently as 2023. Like, I know he's a fresh offensive mind, but from quarterbacks coach, from QB to QB coach, and then less than a year later, he's the offensive coordinator. The new Bills coach, Joe Brady, expressed his support for Keon Coleman, saying that he's going to be a Buffalo Bill. Nathaniel Hackett will join Jeff Hafley's coaching staff and name as QB's coach. Oh, God, he's a terrible offensive coordinator. Why makes you think he would be a good QB's coach? Let's run through here. So the expectation, or assumption, excuse me, is that Mannion will call the plays for Philadelphia. He will be calling the plays. Let's run through here. Falcons QB Michael Penix says his goal is to be ready by week 1. He plans to lean on his past rehab to help get through this one. Wan'Dale Robinson returning to the Giants this free agency seems likely. He had a career year with 1,000 yards this season. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson's also named to watch a QB for the Vikings. They still have faith in J.J. McCarthy, but the injury's been concerning for them. And 49ers quarterback Mac Jones is a guy that is definitely, quote, definitely on the Vikings' radar. So some rumors right there with quarterbacks. Former Broncos offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi said he had a feeling Sean Payton was going to fire him. Eagles offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland run game coordinator responsibilities were taken away from him at some point during the season. The Steelers are finalizing a deal to make Patrick Graham their new defensive coordinator. The Cowboys are expected to use the franchise tag on George Pickens if a long-term deal cannot be worked out. Believe sources expect Mike Evans to move on from the Bucs this offseason. I think that's all the stuff here from JPA Football. The Texans QB coach Gerard Johnson is among the candidates who received second in-person interviews for the Eagles offensive coordinator before they end up hiring Sean Mannion. The Bills are hiring respected Steelers O-line coach Pat Meyer, as their O-line coach source says. So they're hiring him. But I believe that is it for football. So let's move on to NBA. We have two things from Shams and a lot from NBA Central. So Jackson Hayes and Carter Bryant, Lakers center and Spurs rookie, have accepted invitations to the Slam Dunk Contest. Jeez. No one cares about this. Denver Nuggets forward Aaron Gordon will be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks with a right hamstring strain. He re-aggravated the previous hamstring injury he sustained in late November. Man, Aaron Gordon now has another hamstring injury. They just cannot escape injuries right now. The Nuggets are just cursed with injuries so far this year, so Aaron Gordon's going to be out like another 4 or 6 weeks with a hamstring. The Boston Celtics have placed Anthony Simons on the trade market per Chris B. Haynes via Sirius XM NBA. So they traded for him, and now they have him on the trade market. Unless they get a really solid deal, it'll be dumb to trade him. I mean, I get it, but damn, he's playing good, man. Paul Pierce says the Knicks aren't missing any pieces and have enough to come out of the East. So, big men across the NBA are lining up to play with Luka Doncic in LA per Band McMahon. So, potential framework for Giannis Antetokounmpo to Warriors deal. I believe this is via the NewYorkTimes.com/The Athletic. Bucks receive Jimmy Butler, Kuminga, Modi, Pods, and 4 first-round picks, and Warriors receive Giannis and Kyle Kuzma. I don't know if the trade package is as bad as people are saying. So, per Basketball Talk, the Golden State Warriors are viewed as the current favorite for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they did move the Warriors Spurs to ESPN on February 11th, which is, kind of noticing. Hashtag noticing. But yeah, they're viewed as the favorite. Giannis reportedly has the Sixers on his radar and likes Tyrese Maxey per the Steinline Jake L. Fisher. The Miami Heat and Minnesota Timberwolves are in direct pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo, with Miami being described as the leading suitor per the Steinline Jake L. Fisher. Giannis is very interested in teaming up with Anthony Edwards per the Steinline Jake L. Fisher. The Pelicans removed Jordan Poole from the rotation and plan to dangle him in trade talks. He's shooting 37% from the field this year. He's received 2 straight DMP coaches' decisions. What a fall off, man. The Hawks could potentially win the Giannis sweepstakes if they're willing to surrender Jalen Johnson, but they have shown more interest in building a young core like OKC and San Antonio per Sam Amick. Giannis has, quote, some level of interest in playing with Anthony Edwards per Windhorst. Carl Towns still has hard feelings towards the Knicks to this day due to Giannis' trade rumors per Sam Amick. The Lakers are potentially going to ask LeBron to take a, quote, significant pay cut next season if he wants to return per Windhorst. But I believe that is it for all the stuff here from NBA Central. here on the show. So let's talk about some wrestling news here. So via WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select, so Pat McAfee, he's reportedly expected to be back in WWE soon. Doesn't say when, but he's expected to be back soon. So Tommaso Ciampa says that he's going to blow over people's minds and shock the world AEW with how good he is now compared to his prime in 2018, which he says was nothing. He's 100 times better now. That AEW money got him discrediting his NXT work already, man. Yeah, he'll get lost in the shuffle in like a month. It's no disrespect to him, it just always happens to people that debut in AEW. Becky Lynch says she hates her ring name and big fan of moniker because I hate my name. I love Rebecca Quinn. Rebecca Quinn rocks. What a great name. Becky Lynch doesn't roll off the tongue, you know. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa, he arrived in AEW. He had his debut. Grayson Waller's been pulled from this weekend's NXT live events. So I think he'll probably be in the Rumble then. So Jake Doyle suffered a torn tricep on Dynamite last night. AJ Styles has filed to trademark the phenomenal AJ Styles. So, speaking of podcasts, you know, The Undertaker believes that wrestlers are too comfortable exposing the business today. Kind of being a little hypocritical here, man. So, Triple H jumped the Royal Rumble. There's, in quote, there's a lot of surprises in store. This one's going to be epic. Oh, man, he says it's going to be epic. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. It's going to be Jericho being a surprise, and that's it. So the schedule's been changed for the Clash weekend. The Saturday events have been scrapped for the Clash. Sunday schedule, practice and qualifying 2 to 4 on FS2. No heats, top 20 in qualifying to the main, rest to the LCQ. 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox, the LCQ, and then the Clash at 8 p.m. on Fox. So there won't be heats, so the qualifying last practice session will set the lines for the main event in the FCQ. Because they're expected to be like 5 to 12 inches of snowfall, and other apps say less snow, so it's kind of uncertainty. And the sportsmen and modified races are scheduled for Saturday or postponed to a later date. And I guess with baseball, there is a few things, really 2 things here. NBC, they're closing a deal with Clayton Kershaw to join the NBC joined baseball coverage. He would have a role in network's MLB studio coverage. I didn't think he would stay at home post-retirement. It's one Sunday night game a week. I kind of figured he would probably join TV. And NBC Sports are filing deals with Joey Votto and Anthony Rizzo to become part of MLB coverage. Dude, NBC coverage is going to be so good compared to whatever the fuck ESPN's doing. You're going to have Clayton Kershaw, Joey Votto, Anthony Rizzo. It's going to be a lot better than whatever the hell ESPN's going to do. Jackson Cherry will play for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. Ronald Acuna will play for Team Venezuela. Dickie Lovelady cleared waivers by the Nationals. Frank the Tank's favorite Mets player. Edward Julian traded to the Rockies. The MLB trading deadline will be August 3rd at 6 p.m. I don't know why the hell it's August 3rd for the trading deadline. Should be July 31st, but whatever. Some notable free agents still unsigned: Framber Valdez, Eugenio Suarez, Zach Gallen, Luis Arias, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Lucas Giolito, Chris Bassett, Nick Martinez, Zach Little, Marcelo Zuna, and Paul Goldschmidt. Kind of some crazy players here. But yeah, so all I gotta say here, leave a like, subscribe for more. Peace.